Okay, everybody, welcome back. Going to continue building out this website that we left off with last time. Just set up a basic home page with a few features last time, and I've only got a little bit of time to continue working on it today, but yeah, let's just keep going here. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do here is do a little bit of customization to the code. I want to update some of these colors and things like that as we start to build up the site so it all kind of matches and fits within our color scheme. So to do this, I actually have to update the custom theme here that I built out. So I'm going to pop into my styles, and then I'm going to come into what is it? Oh, sorry, common. Okay, so here we're going to go ahead and update some of our colors to go ahead and match. Alright, so I'd asked ChatGPT for some color suggestions. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. Alright, so I'm going to update my primary color to be this new sky blue color. Go ahead and update my primary light as well. And I have a secondary color suggestion as well, a sunny yellow. So let's go ahead and make that our secondary color. Instead of this red, it'll be a nice yellow. All right, so with those two colors updated, I've actually got to push this out onto the live server here. So give me a second. Alright, so to do this I actually use GitHub to manage all this and deploy it. So I'm going to run a diff on this web folder just to see what changes I've made. So just a couple changes to the colors here, and actually before I do this, I'm going to want to run a local build as well, just to, I know my linter doesn't allow for, it's set to not allow for capitals here, so I'm going to go ahead and change these so that I don't get a build fail. Alright, with those updated, I'm going to now run just a little build locally. I'm using Yarn to run this build. Let me go ahead and start this local server as well. Okay, so I've got a copy of the site running on my local machine in addition to where we're working on the live WP Engine site. All right, so let me just take a quick look. Let's see. Why are we getting the failure here? Webpack not found. Let me just see, this should be. Now the site's going to look different because I haven't really done anything on this local site, but just want to make sure that it's up and running. Alright, so it is up and running. I haven't installed it locally yet. I'll do that at a later time. But why am I getting this Webpack not found? Hide modules. Oh, you know what? I've never actually run this locally, so Yarn isn't installed at all. So let me go ahead and get that installed with just a Lando yarn call. I use Lando for my local development environment as well. It's a really nice tool that just connects up a bunch of Docker containers, and I've been using it for a number of years now, and really like using it for my local development environment. Okay, so let's take a look and see if so we're running into an issue here. Couldn't write the file, theme, error log. Alright, so I need to clear up a little space on my hard drive here. Actually in the process of doing that. And let me just delete a couple of things. With that deleted, I should be able to run this again and get an install. In the meantime, since these changes are pretty minor, I am just going to go ahead and push this. If we get a fail in GitHub Actions, that's okay with me, but I don't think we will. There's one other diff here. Okay, that's with the deployment. That's okay. So I'm on the main branch. I'm just going to check this out. Check out a new branch. You know what? I'm just going to. This is not. Check out. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to add my one new file. I'm going to go ahead and commit these changes. Okay, with these changes pushed up in GitHub here, let me go ahead and show you the process here. Once I pull up my repository. Okay, so here is the repository where I just pushed up a few changes. You can see here it's just the color changes, so everything looks good. I'm going to just go ahead and make a comment here. Okay, and what this is going to do is I'm going to merge these into the main branch, and once this merges into the main branch, it's actually set up to kick off a deployment. I'll show that process in just a second. Let's confirm this merge. We're going to come check out our Git actions. You can see here a job. It just got queued and is now starting. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this. So basically what we're doing is we're installing all of our dependencies and basically running a build and deployment on a virtual machine here with GitHub Actions. So we can see all of our Composer dependencies installed. Here is where we're going to go ahead and install Node and run all of our yarn commands to build our JavaScript, CSS, all of that good stuff. And once we get a success on that full build, then we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of work with GitHub and merge our changes into a local branch and then push that up to WP Engine. And once we make that change, we should see basically a minor modification to our color here. Our primary color is still a blue. Let me make it a little bit more dramatic here so we can really see the difference, assuming I can beat this build deploy. So I'm just going to make a quick change to this top hero section and update the background color to be our primary blue. Background primary. It's going to mess with our buttons, but I'll fix that in a second. Okay, so now we can see we've got the background there. And I'm just going to make a few other modifications here. I'm going to make this section minimum height, so it takes up a little bit more vertical space. I'm going to come in here quick and just change some of our button styles. We'll go from primary outline just to a white outline, and then from primary to white. And give this a quick refresh. Okay, and I actually see the blue is already lighter shade, so that updated color already got pushed out. And if we come over here to our build and deployment job, we could see it was successful. And we'll come back here. Yeah, success 3 minutes ago. And now we've got a little bit lighter blue style here for our background. Okay, couple other small things I'm going to continue to tweak with this. Actually, yeah, there's a shape back here that's the same color as our blue background, so it's blending right in, but want to make a few other tweaks to this home page. Offline, I was just playing with a few other style ideas and came up with the idea to, instead of these organic shapes, maybe do a cloud shape. I created one just as a test and pushed it up here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and select this image, get a slightly different look here. And let's refresh this home page to see how it's shaping up now. All right, so we've got a little bit different style here with this image, a little cloud shape, organic shape with a few little highlights on edge here. I am just going to make a few other quick tweaks to this, hopefully help improve it a little bit. I think with this blue background, white text on this copy would look a little bit better. So first thing I'm going to do is come in here and switch these headlines just to be lighter. Actually, I switched to white because of that gray secondary headline, and I'm going to make a small tweak to this copy. This is just a small bootstrap class on our text. Actually, I think I'm going to go light just to make it slightly off-white there. And then I think I'd like to have this text first and the image second here. So quick tweak to that. I'm going to go ahead and give myself full customization access here. And for the text, for mobile, I want it to be second and have the image first, but on desktop, I want the text first with the image second. So I'm going to go ahead and make the order 3 for mobile, and then once we swap over to medium screen, I'm going to go ahead and switch that to order 1, and then I'm going to make a similar change on this as well. So for mobile, I want to go ahead and have this image first, but once we pop over to medium and above, I want this to come in second. So you'll see that little tweak there. Okay, so a little bit of a change there. I've got some updated copy from, got some updated copy here from ChatGPT that I'm going to play with in this home page. I had a suggested headline: empowering young minds, one discovery at a time. Put our non-breaking space in there one more time. Let's update this sub-headline. Go ahead and change that, and then finally, I think I want this a little bit shorter still. once that is, I'm going to do a little bit of manual tweaking on this as well. I think I want it to be a little bit shorter and don't need quite all of these details. Welcome to Sky Sea Children's Program, Castro Valley, California. And I'm just going to show the child. Okay, so let's make that little tweak. Okay, that's starting to look a little bit better already. I think as well, I'm going to make a few minor tweaks to this image. So for mobile, I'm actually going to shrink it slightly. Right now, mobile it's set to take up basically the full width. I'm going to make it just slightly smaller for mobile only, and then I'm going to make it slightly bigger for tablet and desktop. And what I'm doing here is adjusting the bootstrap columns. So I just switched that from 6 to 7, which means I'm now got 13 total, which is why you see this stack. So I need to come in here to the copy and adjust this from 6 to 5, and then we should see things go side by side again. And then one other thing I think I want to do is this content is encased in this basically container in the middle of the screen, but I think we're going to get a little bit bigger image. I might overflow this a little bit more. Actually, that's not too bad. That's sizing. You know what, for the short term, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it. I do need to make some adjustments here with the width of these, maybe keep them side by side actually for mobile, and then the gap here is a little bit too big. Let me see what's pushing this gap so much. Okay, the majority of this gap is coming from it's just from our justification. That's okay for now. I'll be tweaking this continuously as I go. But let me make another modification to this navigation. I'm not sure if I'll have blue on every page in the hero or just the home page. So for the short term, I'm just going to modify the navigation on this home page. Maybe later I'll go through and modify it on all pages, but I'm going to set it to basically be transparent on a darker background, which is going to give me a white text up here. It's actually going to remove this image, I think, as well. Okay, so you'll see I've got white nav here. I can adjust this image or this logo in the top left. This theme has it set up for a light mode and dark mode, essentially logo, and I've only uploaded a default basically light mode logo. So if I come in here and add a dark mode one, I'm just going to select the same one. Actually, just so it's a little bit more fun looking, I'm just going to select this book instead. I'll do this in both places. And we should see a logo pop back up here. Okay, so already looking a little bit better. Homepage is coming together. ChatGPT had suggested a few other options for these homepage buttons, which I liked. Explore programs and book a tour. So let's go ahead and make these changes as well. I like the sky blue, but definitely need to add a little bit more just styling or flair to it a little bit, but we just want to get the basic stuff set up for right now. Okay. Come down here and find our buttons, what we offer. Close this. We don't need GitHub anymore at the moment. Close this. Move this off screen. Unify that. Okay, come back over here to chat and book a tour. So I'm not going to change these links at the moment. They're kind of essentially the same thing, but we'll probably modify that more as we go. Okay, now that we've got those few changes made, let's go ahead and take a look at this home page again. All right, looking good overall. With some modifications still to come. Program for early childhood development. All right. Next thing, okay, I like these stats overall. Why don't I think years of experience? Let me check. I inputted a little bit of data about the daycare into ChatGPT here, so let me ask it for a couple of stats and see what it comes up with. Years of excellence, 1 to 5 student teacher ratio. Okay. Okay, so why don't we just I kind of like some of these that I actually have. So the hours are actually 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And the years of experience is going to be 10 plus. And then let's try the student teacher ratio. Is it 1 to 5 or 5 to 1? 1 to 5. Okay. 7 a.m. one might be a little bit long for stat. I don't want it to break onto a second line, so why don't I might consider moving this just to somewhere else because it's not quite a stat. What else did they suggest? Maybe I can 100% of our let's see, 95% parent satisfaction. I'll just update it to that for the moment. You can always go in there and tweak these later on. Just to keep these kind of consistent on one line, I'm going to just make this years of experience for now. Okay, years of experience. Okay, and then I'm going to have to hop off here in a minute, but one last little tweak. I'm just going to do a little bit of styling for these cards here. So we will go, you know what, I used Midjourney earlier to create a couple of cloud shapes. Oops. And why don't I maybe try to drop a cloud behind these stats. So I might just go ahead and tweak this one slightly and export this. These will be quite a bit smaller. Okay, so just a quick update to these cards. Background image. And we won't really be able to see this because of the white background, so I'm going to go ahead and tweak this section background color to, I put it as primary so it matches the above section, and see how these clouds actually look. Now that I've got the card, the background updated, I need to go ahead and switch this to transparent. And let's see how this looks. Okay, starting to come together a little bit. With everything blue here, this gap looks pretty big, so that's actually due to how things are set up with this having a minimum height. So I'm just going to go ahead and reduce that, at least for now. Big, section size, let's reduce it a little bit here, and this should bring our clouds up a little bit. Okay, everything's a little bit tighter. Still need a little bit of work here to make sure everything spaces out nicely, but just a good starting point. And with that, I've actually got to call it and go